bent my shovel. Well, I made it out into the area I was in yesterday where I'm going to build my shelter. And I was thinking a lot about this last night. And I was calling it a bushcraft shelter, which I guess isn't really accurate. My understanding of bushcraft is one of the key fundamentals to it is to leave no trace. And this shelter I'm actually going to be leaving in the backwoods to come back and add on to it and kind of improve it over time, something that I can utilize whenever I come out here into the backwoods on my property. So really that kind of breaks that, one of those fundamental rules of leaving no trace. So really it's not a bushcraft shelter, but it is a place where I can come out and practice bushcraft skills. So I guess you could call it a survival shelter, more like a camping shelter really than anything else. So this is the spot where I'm going to be building my shelter. The reason I chose this spot is I wanted two trees that were close enough together where building the shelter using the two standing trees as supports would be a little easier than trying to do a freestanding shelter. I wanted to make sure that they weren't too far apart so I didn't have to use more material than necessary, but far apart enough that if I build a bed inside I can actually use it to lay down and be kind of comfortable. So this spot right here is going to work really well. One thing I wanted to address too is, if you can see here on the ground, there's a lot of trees that are down, large limbs, branches, things like that. Following the ideal behind bushcraft is I'm not going to be cutting down live trees to create this shelter. I'm going to be using limbs and things that are already down, that are already dead, and I'm just going to be repurposing them to shape out this shelter so it's something that I can use that'll be functional. Some of the things I brought with me to use today: Gransfur's Brooks wildlife hatchet, Trailbrook blazer saw, which I may use, I may not. And I believe got some paracord, and this guy. So the first thing I want to do is find a piece that's going to be big enough, long enough to reach from tree to tree that I can use as my top support. I'm just using these two side pieces to help hold the weight of this piece temporarily so I can tie it off. Alright, I got the first piece up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to build a wall in the back. Rather than just having a straight lean-to where you lose a lot of room, I'm going to build a wall in the back. That way it's more of a standard building shape. This will be the tricky part. Alright, I've done pretty much everything I can do today. I'll show you guys my progress so far. So this is what I've done so far today. As you can see, the support beam in the back broke, so I put a small temporary one up. I'm going to put another one up. And I think because of all the weight, I may put one up in the middle, definitely on the inside, because everything's kind of leaning in, which is kind of what I wanted. The nice thing is, because of the way that I hung that top piece, where it's just tied up there, which for right now is just kind of temporary, I was using it kind of as a guide. I think I'm going to raise that about a foot to get more of a pitch, which will give me a little bit more room up front. Let me show you from the other side. So this is what it looks like so far. I'm thinking about using a tarp across the top and then covering the tarp to make it more waterproof. Let me know what you guys think about that. So this weekend we have a winter advisory. I guess there's a snowstorm coming in. Anybody who lives in the south or on the east coast is going to be affected. We're going to get hit, I think, tonight. So I'm going to try to head out tomorrow. I'd like to get a little bit more of the shelter done, and I would like to spend some time out here while it's snowing. That's always a lot of fun. It's the rain that, you know, kind of makes you want to go in lockdown mode, stay in the house. But yeah, if you guys have any comments or suggestions, let me know. I'd like to hear them. Thinking about using a tarp on the top. Curious to know what people would think about that. But hope you guys enjoyed the video so far. I had a lot more to do. So, alright guys, take it easy.